showtime, freaks!
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man.
The Alpha Men Podcast is presented by Garage Door Commander. Fueled by a hell of a lot of PBR. And produced by TJ Michaels Creative. Narrated by Jamie Dennis. Graphics by Sven. Dedicated to Hendrik the Viking Poulsen. 2023, all rights reserved.
Seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engines running. We have a liftoff. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
You ever notice how men are portrayed in movies and TV shows? Tired of seeing men portrayed as dopey Homer Simpson clones? Tired of the attack on men? Tired of the woke labeling everything as toxic agenda? Tired of the wussification of the American male? Well, then you're in the right place. Look, we love and respect women around here, but the truth is, we're wired differently than the female species. And if there can be a place where the chicks can get together on TV every day, like that awful program The View, we figured there should be a place where guys can be guys, and we're capable of creating an equally horrid program. So get ready. This is a celebration of man. Because after all, who built the Empire State Building? Who built a rocket and landed on the moon? Who created the very computer algorithm that allows you to find this show?
That was created by Ada Lovelace, a woman.
Okay, great. Credit where it's due. But I think we can all agree the algorithm sucks. Who created the automobile? The Egyptian pyramids? Who stormed the beaches of Normandy? We don't talk about feelings here. We will question the validity of your man card. We're not politically correct, and we'll stand up and fight back against a culture that's determined to transform us into a bunch of neutered pansies. This is your weekly dose of toxic masculinity, a show created by men for men. This is the Alpha Men Podcast. And now, two men who don't own a pair of skinny jeans between them, TJ Michaels and John Stacy.
What is going on, you sick, twisted freaks? Welcome to the Alpha Men Podcast Season 2, Episode 2 from the great capital of the world. I'm TJ Michaels from Trinity, North Carolina. It's Baby Huey, a.k.a. John Stacy, and we welcome a brand new guy tonight, sometimes Randy, from right. Somewhere in Vermont. What is it, Eden? Is that where you are?
Eden is right. Yeah.
Eden, Vermont.
How's the snow up there?
Well, I consider this the Arctic Circle, and so it's not great. But we're surviving. We're doing good.
Listen, if you stumbled upon this podcast thinking it's about alpha wolves discussing their hunting strategies, well, you're in for a surprise. Just a bunch of dudes talking about life, laughs, how to stop our wives from buying crap on Amazon. And before we dive into the manly madness tonight, let's get serious for a moment. Not really. Hit that like button right now and subscribe. It really does help out the show. We're trying to grow a community here, and you are part of it. And if you share this podcast like it's your last slice of pizza with a hungry friend, that's the kind of gusto we want to see. And hey, if you want to experience the true essence of manliness, head over to the Alpha Men Podcast store at alphamenpodcast.com, the manly merch store, because who doesn't want a t-shirt that screams, I listen to the Alpha Men Podcast while bench pressing grizzly bears? It's there. We have a great show tonight. New England's King of Comedy, comedian Bob Marley is with us. Sometimes Randy joins our cast with Guy Tech from CES. We've got Man Court, a new segment called Whiskey Wit, and more. So grab a cold one, kick back, join us in the man cave of podcasts. This is the Alpha Men Podcast. biggest thing in the news right now. Anybody see any good football games this weekend? No. Mansplaining the news tonight. The new COVID variant on the upswing across America. On the upside, seeing AOC with half her a mask covered is better than no cover at all. But nonetheless, U.S. debt hitting a record $34 trillion. The country has gone from spending like drunken sailors to spending like drunken Sam Bankman-Frieds, I guess. I don't know. Meanwhile, Trump pulling off a big victory last night in Iowa, 51% of the voters. That all happening while the Clintons this week vacationed in Mexico. Ironically, Bill wanted to get away from New York right now because the temperatures are in the teens. Meta is Meta is rolling out new restrictions for teenage Facebook and Instagram users. For example, they'll no longer be able to accept friend requests from Prince Andrew. Nonetheless, McDonald's bringing back. This is good news for you, John.
Look at that tasty thing.
The double Big Mac in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
And it's great timing since Chris Christie could certainly use some good news right now.
Hey, it's also good news for if the Chiefs keep doing what they're doing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Boeing saw its stock drop 8% this week. Still not falling as fast as chunks of their planes, but experts say the panel that fell off the Alaska flight last week may not have been properly attached.
Really?
You can read all about that in today's issue of No Shit Sherlock. That's kind of the deal. By the way, Randy, this is big for you because I know you're a huge iPhone fan. An iPhone on that flight in Alaska fell 16,000 feet through the air to the ground and survived. Right there's a picture of it.
But yeah, it couldn't fall off my kitchen counter and survive.
Yeah. Distance, gravity.
Someone on that assembly line in China is getting a lollipop. I'm just saying.
That's messed up. Oh God, look at that thing.
A new study suggests the majority of Americans believe in aliens, ghosts, and the devil. If you think that's silly, Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley believe they can win the Republican presidential nomination. So that's kind of the deal there. After blocks in North Carolina, Pornhub blocked Montana last week over the state's new age verification law. Bad news for the producers of the new porn series Yellowbone.
I'm glad I'm in Florida right now.
Fox News has stopped running ads for MyPillow because the MyPillow guy has stopped paying his ad bills. In fact, Fox wants him to speak with their lawyer guy.
Oh, God.
Hunter Biden made a surprise appearance this week in Congress. Mitch McConnell stood there in stunned silence. Then he saw Hunter Biden. This week, Pope Francis presented a list of the ills affecting humanity. They include the wars in Ukraine, Palestine, the climate crisis, and, of course, Taylor Swift. A remake of The Blob in the works.
Eddie Murphy?
No. Horror film, the classic horror film, The Blob.
Yeah.
The gelatinous mass that devours everything in its path. But enough about Disney. TGI Fridays closing 36 restaurants this week. They didn't want to avoid ruining the vibe, though, so they waited till Saturday.
Come on.
Gary Busey photographed exposing himself and peeing in public this week. At this point in his career, it's the closest Busey will ever get to streaming.
Poor Busey.
The company that owns Come and Go convenience store chain is retiring the brand because of the double entendre in the name. They're going to replace it with the single entendre alternative, Big Sloppy Orgasm.
Big slop. That's a big. I'm gonna go with Big Sloppy Orgasm. Give myself a Coke.
It's Girl Scout cookie time. No new flavors this year, but Scouts expect record sales because there are a lot of brand new weed dispensaries. And finally, the People's Choice Award nominees released this week. Although I believe if people really had a choice, it would be to see way less Taylor Swift on the NFL broadcast.
Yeah.
Done with that. And that is Mansplaining the News tonight on the Alpha Men podcast. All righty. Here we
you know
go.
How hard is it? You know how hard it is to keep up with you when you're doing that? Whew,
Yeah. Beers on
that's
tap.
impressive.
What do you got? What do you got tonight? What do you got? Get them out, boys. I have the.
I got the traditional.
Oh, my camera angle changed. You can't see it anymore.
Yeah, I can still see it.
Oh, okay. We have the Evil Knievel beer fridge.
I have the
Here,
hotel. Thank God they have a bar downstairs. Coors
By,
Light.
by the way, John is.
Tea are you trying?
You're drinking a Coors Light?
Dude, there was some fancy
I know.
beers. A Coors Light. I took Coors
A
Light.
Coors Light. Really?
Never had one.
That's what you
First
came
time.
up with? First time you've ever had a Coors Light?
No.
You're lying.
I was
Okay,
going to say, I feel like that's an easy choice.
I think there's a Monty Python that says Coors Light is like having sex in a canoe. It's effing close to water.
Well, let's find out.
Taste the Rockies, John. Taste the Rockies.
They're blue. Oh, that's pretty damn good after today.
By the way, John is in Daytona Beach, Florida, working for NASCAR. That's why he is not in his normal place. And
no, truthfully, tell him the truth. My wife kicked me out, so I'm in a hotel.
John's wife kicked him out. And, yeah, so Coors Light. I have I was actually excited to see this. Again, I don't know what it is with the tea. Everybody's got to have a tea.
Except for me.
I'm intrigued by this. What is that?
No, but every beer manufacturer is now making tea.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got the OG, you got Twisted Tea. It's been around forever. And now you go in and there is tea everywhere. And this company is the New Belgium Brewing Company. And we had they make some really great IPAs under the Voodoo Ranger brand.
I like that fruit punch they make.
Yeah, this is brand new. I walked into the place where I get my beverages, and the guy said they just stocked these today. It just came in today.
What's it called?
So it's Voodoo Ranger hard charged iced tea with
Interesting.
a shot of lemon flavor. It says. So.
And what'd you get, Randy? The Dunkin'.
Well, I went with the Dunkin' spiced, slightly sweet iced tea. I've tried the Arizona one before. Fan of the Twisted Tea, but this one I've avoided until tonight because of you guys. So I went and purchased this specifically for you, but I've avoided it.
So you went and got a Dunkin' iced tea.
That's spiked.
Thank God.
I'm fully against. I don't see why the coffee company needs to get into the alcoholic beverage industry.
I was walking through the Beverage Baron today in Barrie, Vermont, and they have a Sunny D drink now.
I saw that one too when I was at the store.
I'm like,
actually,
alcoholic Sunny D, and then I'm walking further down the aisle, and it says alcohol-free White Claw, White Claw Zero.
I saw that. So they did a big circle,
right? And I'm like, hey, I hate to be a buzzkill here, but we call that polar seltzer water.
Yeah.
And it's already available. You know, just because you put White Claw on it, you know, there's no reason for it. This Voodoo Ranger from New Belgium Brewing Company, it is hard charged tea, and it is 7% per volume alcohol.
Wow.
You want my honest opinion? It tastes just like Twisted Tea. Exactly.
Really?
Yep. I can't really tell the only difference is that it's 7%.
So it's a little more kick.
And Twisted Tea is, I think, 4 or 5.
5. I'll try this. Again, I hated the Arizona one. It interests me that tastes just like this. Mm-hmm. This is also 5, just like Twisted Tea.
See, I don't like that you said semi-sweet. That tells me it doesn't have any flavor.
It's a tart, probably.
Actually, I expected to hate this.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually really good.
Do you like it?
So is it tea? Is it lemony? Is it beery?
It's a little lemony, not berry at all. It's less tea than twisted tea, I would say.
Twist
And
tea.
when I say slightly sweet, it's sweeter than twisted tea.
If you covered,
This could be dangerous. This could be dangerous.
If you covered the can up, you put a label around it so I couldn't see what it was, and then put a twisted tea with a cover, a label next to it, I wouldn't be able to tell them apart.
All right, let's score it.
Intriguing.
1 through 5. Go ahead.
It's
TJ.
a 4 because I like twisted tea. The can's cooler than the twisted tea can. I don't know if you can see the can. It's got the Voodoo Ranger dude on it.
They have some good artwork on there.
Yeah.
On their
Yeah,
cans.
it's pretty cool. So,
What do you give it? 1 through 5?
Yeah, I'd say 4. I think the taste is better than the twisted tea.
whoa!
However, the can is I do, but the can is only 19.2 ounces, whereas the twisted tea in the same configurement is 24 ounces.
Uh-huh.
And it's more expensive.
Yeah,
all right,
so
dude.
I'm going to go with the 4.
Listen, if you give Coors Light any more than a 2, I'm going to crawl through the screen and hit you with a tack hammer.
I'm going to give Coors Light. I'm going to give Coors Light a 3.8 because it's not bad. It's not.
He's Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports. All of a sudden, listen to him. 3.8.
Hold on, one sip. Everybody knows the rules. No, I mean, I would drink half this damn thing. I mean, it's like water, but I don't mind it.
Now, how warm was it in Daytona Beach today?
Actually, it was only 71, but it's been raining a lot.
Okay,
it's humid. My bottle's sweating.
So if you've been out in the heat all day, Coors Light is a respectable lawnmower beer.
Oh God, yeah.
So if you're mowing the lawn and you're like sweating your balls off and you need something to drink, any of that stuff will do. Coors Light, Pabst, whatever.
Bud Light, I get it all. Yeah.
No,
but the mountains were blue.
I don't
so
do Anheuser-Busch products at all. I don't know, and it doesn't have anything to do with the big controversy. I don't know what it is. From a very young age.
Oh, some are men, some boys.
No, I don't know what it is about Anheuser-Busch and the way they brew products. I get the worst freaking hangover.
Oh,
anytime I drink anything Anheuser-Busch.
I've never seen you hungover.
Yeah. It's because I don't drink Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, I've seen you drunk.
That is Beers on Tap this week on the Alpha Men Podcast.
TJ will open.
New segment called Guy Tech with Sometimes Randy from Eden, Vermont. Sometimes Randy. Hey, buddy.
Sometimes.
CES is going on. Lots of stuff happening out there. We thought we would bring you on this week to talk about some of the new man tech gadgets and stuff because it's something we're all into.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me this week. And it's actually a very exciting event. There's been a lot of stuff discussed. Apple Vision Pro just being released this week. I'm a big Apple person, so that's what I wanted to start with this week. But not only that, but AI advancements, health advancements. But again, going back to Apple Vision Pro. That's
John,
that's a highlight for me.
John, when Apple does the press conference and they roll out the new products?
Yeah.
Randy puts it into his calendar, the date and time that it's going to happen.
Really?
He's on. He watches it live. He gets he will have Apple viewing parties at his house. They get popcorn out and the whole 9 yards.
Awesome.
He's that into Apple.
These things look like before you even talk about the eye, they look like a pair of really badass ski goggles or a Meta Quest.
I thought it was like something for the guy that's in the Halo video game.
Better than the Meta Quest, but can you guess the price? I'll tell you a little more details. Can you guess the price?
If it's Apple, it's over $1,500 probably.
$1,800.
Oh,
all right. So this is going to break the bank, starting $34.99. But it's very
$34.99.
$3,499.
What?
Oh yes.
What does it do?
It is there.
A blowjob.
Listen, it is their close to. It is their first major product since 2015. The thing about it is, like, they transition between augmented reality and virtual reality seamlessly. So you could be wearing those and see the environment around you, and actually, the screen that you see in that picture will show your eyes, so that people around you know when you're in your real world.
Yeah.
And then the picture you see now, where it's kind of blue and purple and blurry, that's when they know that you're not there.
That's for when you're playing that Tom Cruise Top Gun video game.
People are going to be walking around. There's a lot of people get hit by cars by that damn thing.
So this is a virtual reality
that travel.
This is a virtual reality headset.
Yeah.
So my daughter has one. Okay, it's not that one, obviously, and I think hers was like $350, and I thought it was crazy to pay that for it. This is 10 times more expensive. And so what makes it more? What makes it different than my daughter's?
I mean, it's you're asking me. So it's Apple. It's going to be, seamless. You're going to be able to use this. It's going to work to exactly how they say it's going to work. What they demonstrated to you in those videos that I block out my calendar for. Those kinds of things are going to work perfectly. I mean, I could get into a whole thing about this. It's going to take me 2 hours, but it's going to work. It's going to work.
7-year-old boys on the line in China do make some good stuff. I'm just
they get lollipops.
All right, what's next?
I was going to say, that's not the only thing at CES. A lot of AI. You've heard about AI this year. A lot of AI advancements. Amazon kind of stole the show this year. Alexa is growing, and as if she didn't listen enough already, now there's a whole robot part of it.
Okay. So it follows you around the house?
Yeah, it's got legs.
It's going to follow you around the house.
I got to tell you, that thing's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
That pissed me off.
I don't know if I can handle those two little circle eyes looking at me all the time.
I'd go in the bathroom with that take a dump.
I'd probably take the $3,500 Apple headgear and put it over top of that thing so I didn't have to look at its face.
I had one of those Amazon Echoes, and it started singing in the middle of the night. And that's the day I unplugged it and went back to Apple and got the
My house is set up.
I got one right here. I got one right here. It's unplugged.
Oh,
yeah. It still listens to you. Even though it's unplugged, it's still listening.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Health a big topic this year. I actually kind of enjoy this health product, Motion Sleep Pillow, powered by AI. Now, looking at the picture, I know you guys have your comments, but I just want to say it's powered by AI. It detects snoring. So when you snore, it adjusts your head. There's airbags within the pillow, and it'll move your head without waking you so that you stop snoring. What do you think?
John's big fat head?
I have a small head.
I mean, if it can fit on the
do
pillow.
Not have a small head.
I wear medium hats.
I feel like even with a small head, I feel like John would need a bigger pillow than that.
Yeah.
I use a bigger pillow than that.
Whoa, Randy.
I said I use a bigger pillow than that. I'm just saying.
I take shit the size of you.
I got to be honest.
My point.
Look, I'm no Mike Lindell here. All right, I'm not the My Pillow guy, but that doesn't look comfortable.
I'd be pissed trying to see this going.
It looks like you're. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't.
And can you imagine your head being adjusted while you sleep?
Yeah, I don't know.
I sleep on my stomach a lot, so I'd be like sitting there going. It suffocated me every time I went out.
That's interesting. Okay.
See,
I
want a pillow that is AI that, like, when my wife lays down on it, it goes, "You do not have a headache."
So the other thing, if you're new parents, and I know you guys, John actually is the most recent new parent here.
He's just old.
There's a AI-powered app that detects a baby's cry. And you can see in the picture, it watches the baby, but it'll translate it for you, the cry, and tell you why they're crying. Whether they're hungry, they're uncomfortable, maybe they're tired.
So
is this going too far?
It's like a baby translator.
Yeah,
that's
I got to tell you.
impossible.
Do you know what that picture screams, though? Man, we're getting them addicted to these phones really, really young now.
I agree.
I mean that's what it looks like. I mean, with the phone hanging over the freaking.
So what is the parent doing right now if it doesn't have a phone?
Well, they're just chilling on the couch watching some Netflix, and the phone is obviously connected to another app. And when the baby cries, they get a notification, and that notification will tell you what your baby needs because it's crying.
Mom's smoking Magnum cigarettes and chugging a Colt 45 right now, watching
that thing. That thing is about as useful as a toothpick in a meth lab.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's a winner, Randy. Let's move on to the next.
Getting to the things you might actually care about. Cars, automotive, a huge thing at CES this year.
Yeah, I know the automakers are always big.
Yeah, absolutely. This particular picture, and I actually just watched a YouTube video about it today. Aircraft vehicles taking off at CES this year.
Finally going to fly.
Yeah, and the video I watched earlier, I was actually kind of intrigued by it because it has like a 2-hour 200-mile range. It's an electric thing, obviously. And the point of it was, if you run out of battery, it has one parachute. And the parachute will... There was two people in the car, and they questioned it.
You see me and John, I'd be like, sorry, you're out of luck.
Dude.
Yeah.
The thing would be flying like this anyways.
Yeah, right.
That was the exact thought of the two occupants testing it out. It's not a parachute for the person. It's a parachute for the car, the automobile in general. So if it runs out of battery, it ejects from the vehicle and brings the vehicle to the ground.
So I can see this going well. Hey, Allstate, a car landed on my roof.
Right, yeah.
What do you mean? Like it fell off the interstate? No. It landed on my roof.
So 3/4 of the country right now is experiencing sub-zero temperatures, and we see Teslas parked alongside the highways everywhere because the freezing temperatures screw the batteries. Yeah. I don't know that we're ready for flying cars that are battery powered. I'm just saying.
With one parachute.
With one parachute.
No, and I believe they said they were starting to ship. They're taking pre-orders now. I think they're starting to ship 2027, 2028.
But all the automakers really do get into CES. They all have big displays there.
Yes. Yeah, and actually BMW is talking about AR features just to entertain. Honda is going with their new O Series, expected to make a significant impact on the North American market. It's all electric, and all of it is more the entertainment value inside the vehicle. Mm-hmm. Mercedes partnering with Google, AI power assistant in the car, enhancing your driver experience. That's what they say. I don't necessarily agree with it. But the big thing... Oh, yeah. The big thing at CES this year, the LG transparent television. Did you guys hear about that?
This. Yes, I watched the TikTok guy. $7,000.
That looks pretty cool. I got to be honest. That's the coolest thing you've shown so far. See, like, I'm into
And you know that in 10 years, it's going to be half the price. That's where it's going to be.
Well, and that's we've been through it before with plasmas. You remember when plasma first came out? It was so freaking expensive. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think like a 50-inch plasma when they first came out was like $16,000. You know what I mean? I mean it was crazy expensive.
I could see this, on the shelves though, but definitely with a sticker on it saying transparent pricing.
Yeah. Now there's a few things you guys brought up.
That was a joke. Was that a joke?
Yeah. You tried.
Anyway.
I was going to say there's a few things you guys brought up in your research for CES this year that I didn't catch, but you found interesting.
There's a new voice-activated bidet that washes your butt.
Wash my ass.
It's an AI Alexa butt washer. That I might be into. I bet it's not $3,500 either. I'm just saying. This is Samsung's creepy robot helper, another little droid that follow. Oh, that's not it. That's oh, dude, you know what that is? Oh, there
Well,
it
geez,
is.
pick up your
That was
mind.
actually the steak toaster.
Yeah, we'll
That
get
was
to the
the steak
steak.
toaster.
We'll get to the steak toaster in a second. That little creepy robot helper thing
Mhm.
follows you around the house and watches you sleep, monitors your sleep, and it's kind of like you remember the old lady on the commercials? I've fallen and I can't get up. It's,
Yeah.
they're saying it's going to be like like a human
So
assistant
here's
for
they
old
could get
people.
one of those. They get the Amazon robot, and they can get the pillow. Be a package deal.
Yeah, right, or start a band with the droids. You know, I
The droids, the sleeping droids.
it's a crazy world we
Now
live in.
this thing is badass.
Now this is the deal. Now here's the deal. If you like steak, okay, this is the toaster steak oven. All right. Now this thing costs $3,000. All right, but it cooks steak. How long do you think? Take a guess. How long does it take you to normally cook a steak?
10 minutes.
Depends on how thick it is, right? But
yeah,
it's not even a 10-minute deal. It's longer than that, right? This thing cooks
usually.
steak.
Prep and everything.
Yeah, this thing cooks steak.
12 minutes.
2 minutes.
2?
As fast as you can make a hot pocket, it will make a steak.
Jeez.
I'd have steak every day.
It cooks at 1,600 degrees.
Ooh.
And yeah, I don't know if it's worth $3,000, but
holy crap!
If you could have steak every 2 minutes, it might.
I got a smelter I got from Christmas a couple years ago. I could put a steak in there, probably cook it in 2 minutes.
You probably could.
My question is, how many of those are going to be? How many of those are going to be blowing up on your kitchen counters? Like
I don't know.
Like the air fryers.
It seems to me that 1,600 degrees is a little excessive, and there probably shouldn't be anything in your house that heats.
I mean, your window.
That's my point. Yeah.
If you want like medium rare, what do you do? Just drop it in, pull it out.
Yeah. 7 seconds. But all right, there you go. The latest from CES. It is sometimes Randy with Guy Tech on the Alpha Men podcast.
Well, I'm gonna put him on the spot. You to come back in a couple weeks or next week.
He's gonna hang out.
Sure, I'm hanging out for the rest of the night.
Well,
so.
No, I'm talking in general. Are we gonna see more of these segments? Because this tech stuff's pretty cool.
I hope so. I hope if I'm invited back, let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right. Let's go to court.
We present the case. You deliver the verdict. This is Man Court. All rise. The sometimes Honorable T.J. Michaels presiding.
All righty. If you have a problem and nobody else can help, you might call the A-Team, but that show was canceled in 1987. So Judge Wapner is dead. So we're here with Man Court. Send your Man Court submissions online, alphamenpodcast.com, or through one of our many social media sites. By the way, we do have to mention for those watching, some of us probably are on Facebook watching, wondering why they're not seeing us on YouTube tonight or Instagram, and that's because they're jackwagons over there. All right? That's just all there is to it.
Yeah.
A little bit of technical difficulties. The YouTube version of the show will be up later tonight, but we had an issue about 10 minutes before we started that we realized that there was just no way to fix it. But in any case, none of us have all the manly answers to life's problems. So that's why we rely on Man Court and the Freak Jury. If you've got advice for tonight's plaintiff, you can comment wherever you're viewing tonight and let us know. Tonight's case is the case of the Hyper Piper. Our plaintiff is Sean from Joliet, Illinois. It is docket number 240116. And he writes, hey, TJ and John, obviously, Randy, Sean didn't know you were going to be here. All right. He writes, I'm emailing you for some manly advice on Man Court. If it sounds like I'm venting, I am, because I feel like I have no one else I can complain to. If you're going to complain, John's the guy you want to talk to. I'm hoping that you and the Freak Jury will have some advice to rectify this situation. Here's the deal. I have a roommate who plays the freaking bagpipes every night. It's driving me crazy. Let me start by saying I love the guy. He's great in every way, besides the bagpipes. He took me in, being that it was his apartment, first, and I really appreciate him. He's an average good guy, and we're buds. I love hanging out with him. But on the other hand, he keeps me up all night playing the pipes. Never told me before I moved in that he played them. Not that I would not have moved in because of it. I don't know what to say to him because I feel like it's more his apartment than mine, even though I pay rent. So what can I do other than move out? I don't want to move out, but I really don't want to listen to the bagpipes all night anymore. Sean from Joliet, Illinois.
Don't blow out his ass.
That's a pickle. You know what I mean?
That's
Bagpipes serenading you to sleep every night. I don't know.
I personally have a strong opinion on this, but
okay,
that's just me.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, being in property management, it was his apartment first. That's probably a question you probably didn't think of, but you should have asked beforehand.
Okay.
Any nightly activities that might keep me up all night?
Yep.
It's just something you don't think about in the moment because you're so desperate for it. But at the same time, something you should ask just in case. And I feel like his only option is to move out. There's nothing you can do about it. It was his place first. He took you in. You were desperate. That's on you.
Well, it's not like he's going to stop playing the bagpipes. You know what I mean?
No.
Exactly. No. There's nothing you can say for him to stop. So it's on you to change your environment.
I mean, listen, I'm not an expert on bagpipe diplomacy by any means.
That's on you.
Well, it's not like he's going to stop you. I think there are a couple things you can do. Okay? It's something that we don't do enough of these days is sit down and have kind of a man-to-man chat, you know? And not be attacking or anything. Crack open a cold one with the roommate and have a heart-to-heart. Just tell him, like, look, I appreciate the tunes, but I feel like a sheep at a rock concert, when I'm trying to get Z's, living together is all about communication, whether you're roommates or you're married or you're dating or whatever, right? Earplugs. We could do earplugs,
Yeah.
That's not convenient, though. Do you want to wear earplugs to bed?
Kind of inconvenient, but we could do them. You could counterattack with your own soundtrack, right? You just fight fire with fire. Get yourself, an even more absurd instrument like an accordion or a didgeridoo or something. You know what I mean? and just give it straight back to him.
He wants to start a band with you.
The other thing, in honor of one of my buddies, Johnny Racer, never underestimate the power of bacon diplomacy.
That is true. Bacon is solve all.
You got problems? Cook up some bacon in the kitchen. Sit down. Talk about them over some bacon. Makes everything better. Create a manly playlist. You could do that, Just get some metal or classic rock to cover up the bagpipes.
Or just learn bagpipes.
But what's that?
Just learn bagpipes.
What I would do, because I'm kind of an a-hole, it kind of is I would just get a tape and loop It's a Long Way to the Top if you want Rock and Roll by AC/DC, because it's got bagpipes in it, and I'd just loop it. And eventually he'd get the idea. I don't want to hear your bagpipes, but I'm okay with AC/DC's bagpipes, no, so listen, seriously, this is an easy one, guys. Communication is key at all times, and you know what? Humor can go a long way too. You know what I mean? You don't have to be. It doesn't have to be a confrontational communication. You can joke about it, But if you don't talk about it and you don't try and work it out and you just move out, I don't think that's very manly.
Yeah, I agree. It makes sense. I mean, you got to bring it up if it's bugging you. I mean, if you're going to suppress it, you're not a man.
And I mean, if at that point it doesn't change, that's when you got to take the ball into your own court and make a decision there.
Yeah, see, I think we've raised a whole generation of kids and guys who are so afraid of confrontation, it's ridiculous,
Yep.
And confrontation doesn't have to be nasty.
That was me at Taco Bell today.
I
got pretty mad at Taco Bell today. We had to leave. Oh yeah, right. I'll tell that story a little bit later on. Yeah.
Okay. You didn't have Taco Bell?
I had Taco Bell, Another guy I work with had Taco Bell, and the other two did not.
Lord have mercy on that hotel bathroom tonight.
Yeah, thinking of that. I can't wait.
It's going to be rough.
that
is Man Court this week on the Alpha Men Podcast. This portion of the Alpha Men Podcast is proudly presented by Ohana Sports Cards on Facebook. Ohana means family, and that's how they treat their customers, like family. Check out Ohana Sports Cards on Facebook and become part of the Ohana family. Awesome card breaks from football, baseball, basketball, and so much more. Ohana Sports Cards on Facebook. That's OHANA Sports Cards. Ohana Sports Cards. This portion of the Alpha Men Podcast.
In our opinion, there's nothing more manly than motorsports. These are John's red flag moments.
I'm excited because you're in Daytona. That means racing's coming back.
Yep,
a couple of weeks away.
Yep.
So I'm excited that am I actually gonna see a red flag racing moment?
Finally, hopefully. Well, it depends how they act.
All right.
I hope they're pretty good because I have to be in the control tower and I don't want to deal with that.
All right. Red flag moment this week is what?
It's a truck, a concrete barrier, a Jersey barrier.
Okay.
And it's quick. It's a quick video, but you won't miss it.
All right, go ahead. Ooh, it's a fuel truck.
Ooh.
Oh!
That's it.
2 minute stakes. 2 minute stakes.
Boom, catch, and at night. See, imagine driving into that. That's a fuel truck, obviously. But yeah, it's pretty freaking wild. So.
That'll ruin your whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's challenging.
But we're gonna get some racing ones. I got a feeling the modifications they done on the car, it's gonna change a little bit. Super Speedway, you're always gonna get the big one, the 500. I'm down here for the Roar. We're just actually testing our NASCAR equipment before the actual Rolex 2400.
Yep.
So we're using the track time to make sure our equipment works, get everything ready, so they can head to LA.
Everything ready for the season.
Yeah, they head to LA for the Clash and make sure it works good, and then we'll be back here for the 500. I'll be broadcasting here from the 500 on that Tuesday night, most likely.
Yeah, very good. John is in Daytona, and with all that's going on, we didn't want to try and do this thing live this week. But earlier this week, we have the opportunity to spend completely generous with his time. A very, very good friend of mine spend over an hour with New England's king of comedy, comedian Bob Marley. He is going to be playing here locally in my area, coming up on the 20th, which is Saturday in Rutland, Vermont, at the Paramount Theater, and Sunday in Barrie, Vermont. 2 shows. But we released part of the interview earlier this week as bonus content on our YouTube channel because the interview. Honestly, I edited this interview. I didn't know what to do with it because all of it was great. And there was nothing to put on the cutting room floor at all because he's so interesting and he's so funny. And he did a whole thing with us with the Patriots firing Bill Belichick. We released that earlier this week. You can check it out on our YouTube channel.
You almost made him cry.
I did almost make him cry. But we chopped the interview into 2 pieces. And this week we're going to bring you part 1. And next week we're going to bring you part 2. But this week at some point, if you join our Discord channel, you can see part 2 early. All right?
Yep,
so
we're going to put it out there. I'll probably put it out there Friday.
All right. Without further ado, let's get in the hot seat.
It's time to charge up old Sparky. Let's get this week's guest to the hot seat.
Variety Magazine calls him one of the top 10 comics to watch. He is New England's king of comedy, and he's coming back to Barrie, Vermont, and to Rutland, Vermont. New England's king of comedy, comedian Bob Marley joins us. Hey, buddy, what's up? Uncle
What's
Bobby.
What's up, guys? Not much. Just we have been cranking, doing tons and tons and tons of shows. It's great because the venues are getting a little bigger, but I'm still doing as many shows. So I'm like, my pimp Huggy Bear Keithley is working me like a rented mule. It's insane, dude. The internet is awesome. You're not going by the old school rules of like when I lived in Hollywood. I lived in Los Angeles for 11 years, and that whole thing was like you're basically waiting for some guy in a suit to say, "Hey, you're okay."
Well, a lot of people don't know that Ray Romano, all of the stand-ups that went on to have situation sitcoms, there was a Bob Marley situation sitcom.
I had 9 deals in a row, and the first deal I was like, "Oh, I'm going to be on TV. This is great. I got a deal with NBC." And then like a couple months later, I went to the meeting, and I'm like, "I don't think these people even remember who I am." They gave me a check and everything, and then I'm like, "I don't think they even know who I am." And I went home and told my wife, like, I don't think this is gonna happen. This is 9 deals in a row, and like maybe the third deal in, I was with HBO, CBS, Touchstone, Disney, ABC, NBC, 20th Century Fox, Quincy Jones. Like I had like 9 deals in a row. Maybe the third deal in, Seinfeld came to the club one night, and he's Seinfeld, right? There was like 3 or 4 comedians on before him, but these are like the best comedians in the world on Sunset Strip.
Sure.
Like swinging for the best guys from every single major city in the United States.
And Pauly Shore.
Yes. And
Pauly Shore.
We love Pauly Shore. Like literally swinging for the fence every single night. Guys that are at the top of their game. Like you probably don't know who they are at the time because they weren't famous. But like Dave Attell and Geraldo and Dane Cook and Bill Burr and Patrice O'Neill and Dave Chappelle there every night. Mitch Hedberg. Nobody was famous at that point. But like guys that were like really, really good. And I remember Seinfeld came in, and I remember thinking, this guy at the time, like he was like the guy. And I remember watching it. They went nuts for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then after a while, they were kind of like, And I went home and told my wife, I was like, I don't think I'm ever getting on TV. And she goes, "Why would you say that?" I go, "Because I saw Seinfeld and he went up, and he did fine, and I think he's great, but honestly these other guys were like so good." I mean, I guess my point is like I learned that like some of that's a crapshoot, so there is some luck involved, even though obviously Seinfeld is amazing, but like there's still some luck involved. There's so many other guys that I would laugh way harder at than Seinfeld. So I was like, oh, I don't think this is going to happen. This is really hard, like to get everything to line up. We were out there grinding away, and then I got to a point where I was like, I think I just want to do stand up. Like, what am I doing? I'm not an actor. Why am I chasing this? This is stupid. I want to be a comedian. I came out here to be a comedian, and now all of a sudden I think I'm an actor. I'm not an actor.
You moved the whole family back to Maine.
I think I'm gonna be freaking Sam Jackson. I'm like, I'm not. I'm supposed to be a comedian. So yeah, I came back to Maine. Since then, it's just taken off. I've done better and better and better every year. So super happy with that decision. Not at all discounting my time in LA, because super really nice people, great friends. I had a good amount of success. I did a ton of TV shows and stuff like that, like stand up on TV shows, couple movies and stuff like that. But I tell people the 2 best things I ever did was move to LA and then move home.
Yeah, well, the old man would have said, "This is bullshit, Bob. Bullshit."
Oh yeah, my dad with his glasses. Look, this is what my dad would have said. What the hell are you doing out there? Huh? What are you doing? Get your ass home, will you? Please. What's the matter with you? Father would get so wound up that he would chase me around the house because I was a wise ass, if you can't imagine.
Right.
And he would chase me around the house, and his glasses would go tilted because he'd be running after me. He was 6'3", 360, so he wasn't like fleet-footed. And his glasses would go crooked, and he wouldn't take time to fix them. And he would say stuff like this to me, be like, "If I get a hold of you," and I would go, "If I get a hold of you," and my mother would be like, "He's gonna kill you, for Christ's sakes."
This is my dad. It's like my dad. He worked for Pennsylvania Power and Light for 40 years.
Yeah.
And and I'd come home and he'd go, "Who turned the heat up?"
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think we own the power company? I'm like, well, yeah.
Yeah, but you might know
there.
somebody. You might know somebody, Dad, that can hook us up. What the heck?
Now you're coming to Barry to the Opera House on January 21st.
Yeah, Barry Opera House, Rutland the night before at the Paramount, and then Barry Opera House 2 shows, 5 and 7:30. There's some tickets left, but close to being sold out for both shows.
said you were a wise ass. Were mom and dad always supportive of the comedy thing? I mean,
My
or
dad
what?
was. My dad was like, "Do whatever you want." He goes, he wanted to be a football coach. My dad was a great football player at Bangor High School in Bangor, Maine, and had a chance to play college football, and then declined because he didn't have enough money for the books.
Right.
That's like where people were in the 50s.
Yeah.
So like they weren't thinking about college. So he went in the Navy instead, and he got out, and then he was a mechanic, and then he worked for the hydroelectric company, and then so he always said to me, "Do whatever you want." But my mother was like, "You're not going to have benefits, Bobby.
Right.
You need benefits. You can't do this without benefits.
I think
you
he turned out just fine.
You need dental, Bobby."
Because stand-up comedy is very similar to the world of radio. There are what we call lean years. I mean, in the beginning, I mean, you're dirt poor, right? I mean,
dude, I would get checks from booking guys at bookers. Hey, it's $50 a set, and there'd be 5 shows or something.
Right.
And then I'd get the check, and instead of being $250, it'd be like $192. They'd be like, I'm like, what is $192?
Right.
I'm like, that's not even close to $250. It's not even like it was $200. He was off by 1 show. I go, what is one night? You'd call him up, and he'd be like, "Do you want to work again this week?" No, and then you're chasing guys for months and months and months at a time for money. And then eventually what happens is you work so much, you're constantly working, that even if you're getting money, you're getting it from 3 or 4 or 6 months ago. So it ends up being like rotative cash flow at some point. But it's friggin' hard, man. It's funny because you'll get people, especially a lot of people that'll be like, usually they're drinking. It's in an environment where they're drinking, and they go, "You're pretty good, Bob. My cousin Larry, he could do what you do." I'm like, "No, he can't. He can't.
It's tough.
He goes,
He's tough.
hilarious. I think he's funnier than you are, Bob." I'm like, "Okay, he might be funnier than I am, but he can't do what I do. He can't." I always tell people, if you think your cousin Larry's that funny, send him down to the show on Saturday night. I got 2,000 people waiting for him. Let's see how he does.
I got to tell you, I have been telling jokes on the radio for 35 years.
You're not funny.
And when you get up on that stool and that microphone and that spotlight hits you and those people are right in front of you, and I've never had a problem being in front of people either, but it's tough.
Yeah.
It is not easy. There is.
Oh no, you're living. Your job options are up every 25 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like when you used to go on TV, they wanted to laugh every 15, 20 seconds. When I would do the Tonight Show and all that type of stuff, they'd be like, "We're looking for every 15, 20 seconds." So I'm like, well, I'm from Boston. So I live in Maine, but I started my first 3 years in Boston. And that's how all those great Boston comedians kind of trained you, which was like, you got to hammer this shit because these alcoholics are shit faced.
Right.
You got to get that stuff in before they pass out or leave.
What do you make of comedy and where it's at today, where all the big guys out there no longer doing college campuses? It seems like every 5 seconds there's a threat of canceling somebody over something they've said that's comedy in a microphone on a stage somewhere, and it just.
I mean, I'm lucky because I don't have a problem with that stuff because I basically talk about myself and my family, and I don't really, I'm not political. I think I had some years ago where I was a little bit controversial or whatever, but I realized it's not really me anyway, so I don't really have a problem with that. I don't do colleges mostly because I'm friggin' old. I'm 56, and I'm like, I got nothing in common with these kids. Like, I just don't want to do the show because they're all 18. I look out at the room, there's like a bunch of 18-year-olds, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to tell these kids, And my son said to me, he goes, "Dad, a lot of your audience now is like."
Podcast technical difficulties. It happens, right?
Yes. I'm in Maine, and I have 5 squirrels outside operating my internet.
Yeah. Do you know if Barbara Bush were still alive, that wouldn't happen anymore? I'm just saying. I mean,
not on purpose. She'd be like, "Well, they're down at," because she's got a hospital up here, Barbara's Bush Hospital. I'm like, it's not Barbara's Bush, ma. It's Barbara Bush.
It's funny when my wife and I first moved to New England, we were like, "Oh, the Bush complex is in Kennebunkport," you know. And like on the weekends, we're like, "Wow, we got to do something. Why don't we go to Kennebunkport?" So we drove up there, and it was literally like the scene from National Lampoon's Vacation, where Chevy Chase is looking at the Grand Canyon. It was like,
Yeah,
"Yep, that's it."
we got
That's
married
so
down
true.
the street from that compound.
Yeah,
And when like the week before, my wife and I were driving by there, and we wanted to put an invitation in the mailbox, and we got married in '95.
right.
So at that point, that compound was on high alert. So I get out of the car and I go to put it in the envelope in the mailbox, and then there's like 5 guys on me. What are you doing? What's going on? I got him. I got him. I got the guys. I go. I'm trying to. I want to invite the president to my wedding. He goes. He's not coming. He's not coming. You got to go.
Right.
And so I started walking up. It was like that Mean Joe Green commercial with the Diet Coke. He goes,
Yeah.
"Hey kid." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Give me the invitation." He goes, "I'll give it to him. He's probably not coming, but I'll give it to him." And I was like,
Right.
"Oh, okay." So it worked out kind of cool. But
Well,
how great would that have been if he showed
yeah, it
up?
would have been great.
Like broccoli.
So, listen, I know stand up is where it's at for you. We're real excited to have you come back to Vermont and Bob Marley World Headquarters in Maine, championed by Pimp Huggy Bear Oliver Keithley. You do travel all over the country, and you've been to
I
all over the
do.
world.
And to get back to the point we were talking about earlier, all the PC problems that people are having now. Like I don't really have as much of that problem because I don't do a lot of that stuff. But when you see like Chappelle just doing his thing, it's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I told the audience the other night, I go, I'm not controversial, I'm not dirty. I go, and I'm feeling the heat. Very dangerous being up there. Anything you say, people could be like, well, there it is, right there. He's done. Joyce, he's done. He's done. On top of, under, those are the pronouns now. Him, they, under, on top,
Oh
through,
God,
in,
don't get me started. I
next to,
can't.
beside, over.
100% true right there.
I'm like, what
You
the hell are we talking about?
you cut your teeth in the Boston comedy clubs. You
Yes.
obviously have comedians that you look up to from back in the day, and I don't know Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. There were greats. There were people that
Don
are no longer
Rickles,
with
dude.
us. Don
Don
Rickles,
Don
you know,
Rickles,
Rickles.
Rodney Dangerfield.
I
He
tell
was
you, I
the
get no respect.
best. He
Yeah.
was, oh my God, he was the best.
And he
I
was the
didn't,
king of that 10, 15-second laugh. I mean,
oh,
he had a punchline every 10, 15 seconds.
I did a TV show with him once for TBS. Back, they had a New Year's Eve special,
Mhm.
and Rodney had a bunch of young comedians on, and I was one of them. And he came in and he goes, he's standing there. We're getting ready. They're setting, and I'm standing there, and they go, "We need to put a microphone on you, Mr. Dangerfield." So he dropped his pants so they could get the mic in the back. He didn't have any. He's standing there like pretty much with his stink hanging out. I'm like, Rodney, you don't have any underpants. Like, what are you doing? And
Right.
he goes, hey, he goes, the fuck do you care? And I'm like, he
That's
goes,
I,
awesome.
go
I
get me a
watched.
tuna fish. He goes, go get me a tuna fish sandwich. So
I
I went upstairs and I got him a tuna fish sandwich, and I came back down with a tuna fish sandwich. And I go, here's your tuna fish sandwich. He goes, the fuck is that? And I go, it's your tuna fish sandwich. He goes, I didn't want a tuna fish sandwich. I just wanted you to get away from me. Those guys are my heroes.
Now you're coming to Barry to the Opera House on January 21st.
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday.
Saturday, January 20th, Paramount Theater, Rutland, Vermont, 2 shows. Sunday, Barry, Vermont, Barry Opera House, 2 shows. Yep.
And bmarley.com is where they get them.
Yeah, buddy.
I've done this a couple times.
Yes, you have.
Well,
Great
listen,
to see you.
we appreciate it. It is great to see you, and for people who have just sat through this interview, just a personal invitation from you for them to come out and see you in Vermont and what they might expect at a Bob Marley show.
Yeah, so it's PG-13, and it's not PG-13 in an unfortunate way. It's like there's there's language and some innuendo, and it's fun, and it's not church clean by any means.
It's rated SC, right? Some cussing.
Yeah, that's it. There's no F-bombs. I took that out years ago because I counted one show and I said the F-bomb 186 times.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I might want to back that off. because it became like a verb for me. I'm like, anyway, no politics, and I mostly make fun of myself and my family. So you're gonna have fun.
Always great. Your shows are always great.
It's super fun. I love doing it.
For tickets and information, bmarley.com, New England's King of Comedy, comedian Bob Marley. Thanks for coming on and being in the hot seat with us on the Alpha Men podcast.
Great to see you guys. Right on.
Thank you, sir.
Ready?
There you go, Bob Marley.
Great conversation with comedian Bob Marley. If you want to see part 2, we've got it for you next week, or you can see it early and join our Discord channel. And we'll put that link up on the screen here as well here in just a moment. But brand new feature tonight, Whiskey Wits. Am I right about this?
Whiskey Wit. It's something new. It's something different. It's nothing crazy, but we're gonna work on it.
I'm a little scared. Let's go.
Hey, I try.
Welcome to Whiskey Wit, where we dive into the bottom of the bottle and surface with the thoughts men have while in the bag. Because let's face it, even though some bad decisions are made, some of the best ideas and revelations happen when the whiskey starts doing the talking. And this week we're thinking about things we do as men, either in secret or unknowingly, as if it was kind of like written into our genetic code. All right.
It is.
And the first example is when your wife comes home from the grocery store and you feel the need to bring every bag she's picked up at the grocery store in the house at one time. Even if it means possibly losing a finger due to lack of circulation or something like that.
You're telling me I already lost one.
But we all do it, don't we? Yeah. I mean, like you go out to the car and you're like, I got to make this fast.
So you start calculating how much weight you can carry each hand.
Right.
And forearms, you're like, can I fit through the door? Do I have to go sideways?
Yeah. Is the bag going to break? You know, that's the worst. The worst is the bag.
And John won't understand because he's been gone for so long. But in the middle of winter, you don't want to go out there twice.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Absolutely.
Exactly.
I mean, right now in Vermont, it's snowing like a bee. I mean, it really is. It's
I see people posted the roads are pretty bad up there.
Yeah, it's. I came home. They released us from work early today. I came home from work early today.
It rained today in Daytona.
I worked for like 3.5 hours today. I drove for an hour and a half to work, worked for 3.5 hours, drove an hour and a half home. It's crazy. But, nonetheless, Whiskey Wit, item number 2. At random while watching TV in our home, we may put our hand on our junk.
Oh,
now, we're not doing it for any other reason other than to just make sure it didn't fall off just randomly. But subconsciously, we do it for comfort. But in reality, we just want to make it's still there. Make sure it's still there. You know, most of us can't see it anymore. We got that thing going on. You know,
I can still see the tip.
Except Randy. Randy's still a young buck. Randy can still see his. But
I was going to say sometimes you get that itch that nobody else understands.
Al Bundy had it down to a science.
He did have it down to a science. That is the king of sticking your hand down your pants, right there.
And he puts on sports. That's
Absolutely,
the way to do it.
Absolutely. When shaving, sometimes we will temporarily just keep the Hitler mustache for a moment and stare into the mirror and pretend to speak German.
Hey, Deutsch, I got dice.
Ein Schwein,
Have you done it, Randy?
I've never done this. Never.
I see it older.
Because I don't grow their facial hair. That's probably why.
That's true.
Like, this is the mustache I grow.
Mm. Yeah.
That's
no shame. It happens.
That's the 80s, porn star look. Oh, you got it.
That's what I'm going for.
My name is Rico.
Rico.
If there is something stuck to the toilet bowl in the bathroom or the toilet, we'll use our pressure washer Power P to get it off the bowl.
Amen.
And there is kind of a reward if we do it. You kind of feel a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, self-gratification. I don't care where I'm at. I will try to get that off, whatever.
And finally, we all do this. when taking our underwear off, we quickly kick them up to our hand like we're trying out for the U.S. Olympic team or something like that. I just, I don't know if you do that. I do that.
I used to. Now I've got too fat, so now I fall over.
I was going to say, the only argument I have for this is, don't you just leave them wherever they fall?
Now,
do you even bother picking them up?
No, I pick mine up.
You do?
All of these things, all part of being a man, and that's Whiskey Wit this week on the Alpha Men Podcast. It is time for Chick Flicks Are Dumb. We watched it, so you don't have to. You're welcome. Tonight, we review the 2000 movie starring Mel Gibson and Helen Hunt and Marissa Tomei called What Women Want. All right? I really like Helen Hunt. Back in the day, I had a thing for Helen Hunt. Helen Hunt in Twister was pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, honestly, about this movie,
yeah,
I didn't mind it.
Well,
it wasn't horrible.
Here's the deal. The movie is about a cocky, chauvinistic advertising executive who magically acquires the ability to hear what women are thinking. And
do you imagine that? Oh.
I know single alpha men out there think this would be great, but being a married guy going on 23 years, I can tell you, no married guy wants this.
No.
Not.
It'd be cool for a minute. It'd be cool in your 20s.
And look, I don't claim to be an expert on women, but after watching this movie, I reckon even Shakespeare would be scratching his head. All right, the movie had me pondering if Cupid himself needed a refresher course. I mean, it's crazy. But we do have a clip. Can we roll that?
Yeah.
Did I turn the coffee maker off? I walked over to it, but did I turn it off? I can't remember. I saw the light on, but did I actually turn the switch off?
One kiss doesn't make me a lesbian, does it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
2 slices of toast, 150 calories, plus a tab and a half of butter, another 150.
So estrogen is good for the heart, but bad for the breasts.
What?
My kid doesn't eat Ritalin.
I can only get him to listen to what I say.
Monsieur, I need to poop.
Oh, God, boy.
Oh, God. He nearly killed me. Too bad he missed.
So there you have it. We have Mel Gibson, Mr. Braveheart, who is playing a guy who suddenly gains the ability to hear women's thoughts. Now, you would think that mind reading was supposed to be a superpower and not a punishment. But from our perspective, the movie asks the eternal question, do you really honestly want to know what she's thinking?
Depends on the day.
No. So this fella Nick starts prancing around like a peacock in the library thinking he's the love guru now because he can read women's thoughts. And he turns into the Sherlock Holmes of the dating world thinking he's cracked some cosmic code of women's desires. I mean, listen, if I could read women's minds, I'd use it for something useful like predicting the winning lottery numbers, not decoding the mysteries of mascara and mood swings. But let's not forget the grand revelation. The movie all comes to the point where it turns out that women want respect and understanding. Well, slap me with a wet noodle and call me oblivious, right? I mean, come on. It's so patronizing. It's incredible. Yes, women want more than just a guy who can fix a leaky faucet. Like, we didn't know that, right? And listen, if you're listening to a woman and showing some common courtesy, you're already way ahead of the game here. So, in one scene, our hero tries on pantyhose. And listen, I'm all for expanding one's horizons, but call me old-fashioned. I'd prefer to keep my legs unencumbered by nylon prisons. The whole strutting around in high heels scene was like watching a fish trying to ride a bicycle. Entertaining, but utterly confusing. And I got to be honest, if I tried that, I'd probably wind up in the ER with a sprained ankle or at least a bruised ego. And the romance, Don't even get me started. This guy in this movie, because he thinks he knows what everybody wants. If a woman wants flowers, buy her the damn flowers, okay? Don't try to psychoanalyze her flower preferences like you're cracking the Da Vinci Code, all right? That's where this movie goes to. And if you're looking for relationship advice, you're probably better off skipping this movie and just asking your grandma. She probably knows more about what women want than Mel Gibson anyway.
Why don't you want Haley? Why don't you want to read your mind?
What's that?
Yeah,
I would not want William to be able to read my mind. There you go.
I think it would be
at the same. Go ahead, John.
Randy. No, it's all you, buddy.
No, I was going to say, at the same time, isn't that what we all want? Some understanding and respect for what we want in life.
Sure.
And yeah, I get what you're saying, TJ. It's like you don't need to go to those extremes to understand what she wants.
Right.
But at the same time, I think he wants those things too. And that's not what the movie depicts, but at the same time, that's what it's coming back to.
See, watching this gave me the same feeling I got when we watched, the Barbie movie. Oh, God.
That was rough.
Haven't seen it yet.
2 hours of my life I'll never, ever, ever get back.
Yeah, it's not worth it, buddy.
But you know, these movies that claim to be chick movies or movies that interest women, if I was a woman watching these movies, I would be like, they're patronizing me. This is offensive. You know what I mean? Because it's just like...
that's kind of my point, yeah.
You know? I mean, so chick flicks are dumb. We rate each movie on the alcoholic beverage rating scale. The best movie we ever saw was Roadhouse.
Yes.
Yep, that got a 30-pack of PBR. That was the rating. And this movie, What Women Want, we'll give it 1 glass of jungle juice extracted from a kiddie pool at a college frat party. And you ask why? Because in the movie, just like the movie, we will drink it and hope for the best, but we really don't want to know what's in it. That's kind of the deal. And that's the review tonight. Chick flicks are dumb on the Alpha Men podcast. This portion of the Alpha Men podcast is proudly presented by Ohana Sports Cards on Facebook. Ohana means family, and that's how they treat their customers, like family. Check out Ohana Sports Cards on Facebook and become part of the Ohana family. Awesome card breaks from football, baseball, basketball, and so much more. Ohana Sports Cards on Facebook. That's OHANA Sports Cards. Ohana Sports Cards. It is the game show sweeping the nation, and it is really cool because we have another player tonight in Sometimes Randy.
I'm excited about this.
This is facts or crap, and you can play along at home too. Just comment wherever you're watching, whether it be X or on alphamenpodcast.com or Twitch or Rumble. And what we want to know is it fact or is it crap? And we get started with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Okay.
Hell of an actor.
Yep.
All right. Once appeared as himself on an episode of the NBC series Las Vegas and got killed off. Is that fact or is that crap?
I'm gonna say that's fact because it just seems like something. I don't know.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna go with that. It's crap.
Facts. He dies in Die Fast, Die Furious, the episode. Van Damme dies when he's filming a dangerous stunt in Montecito. His jacket rips as he falls to his death, but the security team has doubts about it being an accident. Oh, damn.
Oh, damn.
Fact or crap? The world's largest Hindu temple is in Moscow, Russia. Fact or crap?
I'm gonna go with that's crap.
I'm gonna go with crap too.
Ding, 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 ding. You're correct. The largest Hindu temple in the world is in Delhi, India. How big are we talking? The temple complex covers 100 acres and even includes an IMAX movie theater inside of it. So, there you go.
Wow.
Fact or crap? As radical a rap group as they were ever considered, Public Enemy was not fronted by a guy from the hood, but a graphics arts student who came from a middle class family in Long Island, New York. Fact or crap?
I'm going to go with fact because there's stories like that around. I'm not sure about these guys, but there's show the thug side, but really they're.
Hey, look, there's Flavor Flav.
You know,
that's all I can focus on. I'm going to agree with John. It's fact.
It is fact. The group emerged from Adelphi University on Long Island in 1982. A student at Adelphi, Chuck D, also worked as a college DJ before becoming a star. All right. Fact or crap? Chocolate, meat, sex, and laughter are all important for a healthy brain. Fact. Or crap?
Fact.
Correct. Yes. Dark chocolate and plenty of cold meat for breakfast, they say, top the list. It boosts gray matter. A study also found that sex is essential for keeping the brain fit later in life. And
see,
you know what that means.
Listen, wife.
You know what that means?
What?
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, me too. That's why I said, listen, Emily. Emily, listen.
Fact or crap? On Inauguration Day, when the President of the United States takes the oath of office, the Bible is open to the book of Acts.
Ooh. I should be good at this. I should know this one.
Say it again.
Fact or crap? On Inauguration Day, when the President of the United States takes the oath of office, the Bible is opened to the book of Acts.
I'm going to say crap because I feel like it's going to be open to whatever passage that the particular president feels is the most important to himself. So I'm going to say crap.
Fact.
It is crap. The president has a favorite passage or verse. The Bible is open to it. If he places his hand on a closed Bible, there is no rule or law that specifies what section of the Bible should be used. It's become common for incoming executives to use their family Bibles, though a handful have opted to use the Masonic Bible that George Washington swore his oath of office on. But did you know that Theodore Roosevelt is the only president to not use a Bible when taking the oath? In 1901, he took a rushed oath of office following the assassination of William McKinley, and he did it on a copy of Sports Illustrated. No, he just raised his hand up. That's it. There was no book, so
now Randy and I are 4-4.
All right, fact or crap?
I was going to say John and I tied.
Fact or crap? Laughing is good for your health.
Fact. Who knows that?
That is correct. Researchers have found it dramatically improves your health and can be as good as for you as a deep state of meditation. Fact or crap? Buzz Aldrin was the first man to take a whiz on the moon.
Crap. It's not happening.
We're tied. I don't want to mess it up. I'm going to say fact.
It is fact. The second man to stand on the moon was the first to take a whiz there, technically into a special bag placed inside a spacesuit. But shortly after he stepped off the LEM onto the ladder of Apollo 11's lunar module, he let it loose.
Yeah. So he pissed himself and said, "This is one giant leap for man."
Listen, you work for NASCAR. Those guys do it all the time. You know?
Yeah.
So
you can tell. Go ahead.
Fact or crap? Fred Loers won the 1904 Olympic marathon because he drove 11 miles of it. Fact or crap? Fred Loers won the 1904 Olympic marathon because he drove 11 miles of it.
I'm going to say fact. I feel like I've heard this before.
Sure, I'll agree. Fact.
It is a fact. He later confessed to the, quote, joke. The real winner actually was Thomas Hicks, who was recognized, but Fred technically won the race and then was banned from amateur competitions though later reinstated, ultimately winning the Boston Marathon in 1905. So finally,
so right now it's 7-6. Randy's got the lead.
Fact or crap, condoms have been around for thousands of years.
Fact.
That is correct. You go all the way back to 11,000 BC. The first evidence of condoms found in the caves in France, said to be the oldest evidence of condoms. There was a painting on the wall that scientists say represent them. Fast forward to 1000 BC. Some historians argue that condoms made from cloth were used in ancient Egypt to protect against disease. Worked just as well as a cloth mask, apparently. From there, you can jump to 1400 AD, where they were used in China and in Japan. In China, they were made from
sheepskin.
Lamb intestines.
Yep.
Or oiled silk paper. In Japan, the materials of choice were tortoise shell. That's gotta hurt. Or
it's
animal
ribbed,
horn.
It's ribbed for her pleasure.
Right. Yeah. Many stops along the way. The first modern form turned up in 1839 when a man by the name of Charles Goodyear created rubber condoms. And
Wicked, I know that.
Same guy as Goodyear tires?
Yep. Same guy.
So Randy got it with 8. I got 7.
Randy's our winner tonight on Fact or Crap on the Alpha Men podcast. Alpha Men on Sports, a segment we call Your Team Sucks. Anybody see any good football games this weekend?
Oh, because your team sucks.
Yesterday was Blue Monday, which is considered to be the most depressing day of the year. Unless you're a Cowboys or Eagles fan, then it was just yesterday. Monday, regular Monday.
It was rough,
awful.
man.
It was a rough weekend. Bill Belichick, of course, out as the Patriots coach. It's unusual for Robert Kraft, making news where a happy ending didn't happen. But rumors have Bill headed to...
That makes sense now.
Rumors have Bill headed to Atlanta and the Falcons. Travis Kelce in the news, nervous about getting Taylor Swift. Oh, Jesus.
You talk about her a lot.
Don't diss my T Swift.
Here's the deal.
Oh, come on, Randy.
I am a Swiftie through and through.
This is what we call a sports story these days. You ready? Travis Kelce is nervous about getting Taylor Swift the right Valentine's gift.
Wait, Randy, you said you're a Swiftie?
Sure he is. Oh, yeah.
I would be nervous about getting Taylor Swift.
Travis Kelce was nobody to me until she started dating him. I'll go on the record and say it.
Hold on.
There you go.
I gotta take her to some TJ. Hold on.
Welcome to my first appearance.
So, if you look at your screen now, we lost Randy. Now you're back, buddy.
Travis Kelce nervous about getting Taylor Swift the right Valentine's gift. I would be too. An entire album could depend on it. Meanwhile, they are reportedly talking marriage. Little is known about the ceremony, except that Andy Reid will be next to the cake.
See, okay, the Kelce news you should have picked up is the one that came out today.
What is that?
That his brother Jason is retiring.
Oh, yeah. I'm aware.
That sucks.
See the Eagles jersey?
I'm just saying.
You see? Yeah, I'm aware.
No, I know you're aware.
I'm aware that travesty. I'm aware that travesty of a game yesterday was Travis Kelce's last game. That sucks.
Jason,
Jason,
but you're so
Jason. I'm sorry. Jason Kelce.
You're so obsessed with Taylor Swift that I see why you.
Yeah, Jason Kelce's last game was that horse crap of a game yesterday. We'll get into that in a second. But Tiger Woods ending his 27-year partnership with Nike. Nike says the split occurred because they caught Tiger sleeping with a younger shoe company. And California going to ban both tackle football, ban youth tackle football for children under 12.
Why?
It's dangerous, concussions, everything else. Speaking of players not being able to tackle, did you see that Cowboys game on Sunday? I'm just wondering.
You guys lost by 24. We lost by 16.
No, you did not lose by 16. Dude, they were playing people from the stands by the time Dak Prescott got in the end zone. That was total. You 16 of your points were total garbage time points. There's
blah, blah,
you're
blah.
not gonna. There's no way.
Blah blah blah.
All right. Yesterday morning, news broke of the heroic actions of Hulk Hogan and his friend Marine Jake Rask after leaving dinner in Tampa on Sunday night. Hogan's wife Sky Daly posted about seeing a car flip in front of them. Daly credits Hogan and Rask for springing into action and being good Samaritans. And they punctured the girl's airbag, got her out of the car quickly, and helped her out. So that's right, brother. Yeah. Anyway,
squeeze his biceps in the airbag and pop it.
Yeah, I don't know. Miami Heat honoring Dwayne Wade's decade and a half with the team in the form of a statue. On Sunday night, Pat Riley made the halftime announcement there will be a statue of Wade. It'll be 8 feet tall outside of the arena next season. And it didn't take long at all. Just days after Alabama head coach Nick Saban announced his retirement, his successor named Kalen DeBoer has spent the last 2 seasons at the University of Washington, where he led the Huskies to the national championship. The Huskies, by the way, were given no clue about his departure, found out what was going down while they were in the training room watching ESPN. Can you imagine?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Was he there?
No. Speaking of ESPN, the NFL and ESPN could be getting more in bed together. Deal getting finalized, giving the league an equity stake in the TV sports network. Reports say advanced talks are going on now. If signed, the network would gain control of NFL media, including the NFL Network. In return, and a return email to NFL Network employees, they say the league has worked to adapt to the changing business environment, but it kind of does beg the question of how a deal like this would affect ESPN's kind of editorial arm and their coverage of the NFL. Like, if the NFL owns you, are you going to start talking about how bad the refs suck?
Yeah, we are.
I don't know. Meanwhile, the NFL and NBC and Peacock quick to celebrate an average viewership of 23 million people for the Frozen Wild Card matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs.
That pissed a lot of people off.
Oh, huge. The streaming only playoff game wasn't without controversy, but it shattered the previous streaming only game record of 15.26 million viewers held by a prime showing of the Dallas Cowgirls and Seattle Seahawks game. Of course, the naysayers quick to provide a counterpoint, saying comedian Bill Burrow tweeted out, Peacock wrote, "Witnessing history." And comedian Bill Burr tweeted out, "Witnessing history to see the first playoff game streamed for $6."
What were you going to say, Randy?
Today is the most cancellations ever for Peacock. Bet we won't see that promotional spot. And Mike Tirico called it a milestone moment in media and sports history. NBC also thanks you for the subscription fee. Not a good deal. Playoff games, I get it. Everybody wants to make money. It's not like the NFL doesn't make money. They make a crap ton of money. Can we just make sure everybody sees the freaking playoff games?
I agree.
Before we get to the divisional round picks this week, let me tell you, this is going to be a really tough week of really close games and really equally matched teams in the divisional round. So we get started. Houston Texans, Baltimore Ravens.
You say they're matched?
Yes. Dude.
You don't think the Texans are on a fluke?
Dude, no, I don't. The Texans looked really good last week.
They did, but...
And C.J. Stroud is going to be a franchise quarterback for them.
Oh, God, yeah. He just came out of nowhere. But I don't think the Texans are the same caliber as the Ravens. The Ravens have been pretty damn consistent. The Texans have been
let me finish.
Pretty consistent, like you guys losing.
Here's the deal. Let me finish. I don't think any of these games are going to be blowouts. I don't think you're going to see a team hang almost 50 on another team like the Cowboys got this past week.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I think the Texans looked really good at home. in the wild card round, C.J. Stroud and Houston are going to put up some points against Baltimore. The Texans are going to get close, but the game is in Baltimore, and I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Lamar Jackson. But it is going to be a one-score game.
Really?
Ravens 27, Texans 20. All right.
Okay, I'm just gonna take the underdog, take Texans, and I'm gonna give it a 10-point spread.
Okay.
Randy, who do you think? Do you watch football, Randy?
Absolutely not.
He watches Taylor Swift.
Not. I was just gonna say the only reason I know about football is because, like I said, Taylor Swift made Travis Kelce famous.
Sometimes Randy will be over in the corner.
Do you want me to pick one and see how this goes next week?
Sure.
I'm happy to do that.
Go ahead, Texans or Ravens? We'll see how.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. Oh Jesus! I'm gonna go with the Texans.
All right,
Texans. John, Texans, and you picked.
This will be our point of conversation for next week. How bad did I do?
Green Bay Packers, San Francisco 49ers. Dude, that Green Bay team,
what the hell
they gave your Cowboys a whooping.
Dude, straight up, I was embarrassed.
And here's the deal, dude. We're gonna get to where I was embarrassed. So I'm not.
Like I'm in the Outback wearing a freaking Cowboys hat, like an asshole because I support my team. Right. And everybody walked by the table. Oh, your Cowboys are getting kicked.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you. Even the waiter came over, and do you want a free beer because this is bad. Everybody in that place was giving me a hard time.
I think Green Bay has hit a stride, and I know I saw a comment from you earlier in the week where you were like, "This team always gives us trouble." Blah blah blah. But they looked really. It didn't look like a fluke performance for them. They looked really well put together in that game, and I think they're peaking at the right time. However, San Francisco is going to be rested and ready for this one. 49ers defense is going to be much tougher to score on than the Cowgirls. So it's going to be another close game.
No.
But Niners 27, Packers 24.
Randy?
I'm not going as far as to say the score.
You don't have to.
I will say.
Just pick.
No, I'm going to say.
One Swifty, two Swifty.
49ers, they've been in a Super Bowl in the last 10 years, right? No?
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yes, they have. Yeah.
Who cares?
I can tell you
it's
been 27 years since the Dallas Cowboys have been in a Super Bowl.
I'm going to say who cares on the 49ers because my second grade teacher was a Packers fan, so I'm going to go with the Packers.
All right.
That is my mentality on
that
this.
That is great analysis, Randy.
I'm going with the 49ers. So
my second grade teacher.
Let's put it this way.
That's how much knowledge of this segment that I have.
I hate
Taylor Swift and my second grade teacher. There you go.
I hate the Eagles because of you.
Yeah. You don't hate the Eagles because of me.
No,
you
not
hate the Eagles because you're a Cowboys fan, and every Cowboys fan hates the Eagles, and every Eagles fan hates the Cowboys.
I despise.
He hates the Eagles because of me.
No, I hate the Eagles because of TJ.
Okay. Thought it was going to be me.
No, nothing to do with you. Because TJ gives you so much crap, but I despise the freaking Packers. Like, I'm starting to swear because I hate the Packers because every time we play them, they beat the hell out of us. They've won more playoff games in our stadium than we have.
3-2.
Yeah.
The Packers have won more playoff games at AT&T Stadium in Arlington than the Cowboys.
Oh, it pisses me off.
That is awesome.
Now, so I'm going with the 49ers. I'm gonna give the 49ers. I hope they blow them out.
Okay. I think it's going to be close, 27-24 Niners.
I'm going to go.
I think it's going to be close.
50.
I think Jared Love is also another. I think he's another franchise quarterback. I think they have finally found a replacement for Brett Favre in Green Bay. Yeah.
So now we're on to the Bucks and Lions.
Tampa Bay, Detroit Lions.
Yep.
The Buccaneers were impressive. Wild card win. shining defense against a struggling Eagles offense. I don't want to talk about it. All right. The Lions will listen. The Lions are going to be a lot tougher to beat than the Eagles. Most people are predicting a Bucs upset for some reason in Detroit. And you've heard me say this, John, all season. There is something special about this Detroit team.
They have came out. I want them to win it, the whole thing, because they deserve it.
I think it's going to be close, but I think it's going to be Lions 27, Bucs 23.
I'll go with that. I can agree with that.
And then finally, Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, hold on. We have Randy's.
Oh, sorry, Randy.
I was going to say, you don't want my opinion?
Yeah,
on this?
sorry, Randy. Sorry. Do you have a
What
fourth
teacher?
grade teacher you could tell us about?
So you both are going Lions?
Yeah, you're going Buckies?
Lions are my favorite circus animal.
He's going with the Pirates.
So Tampa Bay or Detroit?
He took Tampa Bay.
Oh, he did.
I'm going to take Buccaneers. Yep.
Okay, Buccaneers.
Just to be different.
All right.
Now, I guess I know. Hold on. Randy, who are you picking just based on this picture?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Okay. Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, and this is my upset pick of the week. Okay. Bills beat the Chiefs in a close one in Week 14 in Kansas City. And you would think that that would not make the Bills the underdog in this game, but mark my words, Sunday, when you're watching NFL Game Day or whatever, all the analysts are going to pick the Chiefs to win this game. Every single one is going to pick the Chiefs because of Patrick Mahomes to win this game.
Yep.
If you look at the stats, Josh Allen this season has more impressive stats than Patrick Mahomes. I think the Bills and Josh Allen beat the Chiefs again, but most of the credit in this game is going to come to the Bills defense, who are going to come up big late. It'll be Bills 24, Chiefs 23. It's going to be a 1-point game.
I'm going to go the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes still has a lot of fire in him. Josh Allen is good, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs just based on his.
Did you see that touchdown that Josh Allen scored this past week?
Did you see Patrick
broken
Mahomes
play?
helmet?
Yeah, I did see that.
That's insane.
Yeah, I did see that. So that's your NFL divisional round picks, and that's Your Team Sucks, the Alpha Men Sports on the Alpha Men Podcast.
And before we leave, I want Randy back for sports segments because it makes it so much more fun.
I just want to say that all the picks I made tonight, I won't remember them by next Tuesday.
We wrote them down.
But we'll go with that.
I got it right
glad
there.
you wrote them down.
I got it right
I
there.
mean, aside from the Chiefs, picking the Chiefs, I'll remember that.
Yes.
We'll go
You're
with the
the
rest.
one person on this planet who's watching NFL going, God, I hope they show Taylor Swift again.
I'm sitting here thinking, how do you two have time to keep up with all this?
And I work a really
I
crazy
do
schedule.
not have time for this.
Yeah, well, if you keep doing this with us, you'll start picking up little trends.
And number two,
yeah.
Number two, I do watch the New Heights podcast with Jason and Travis.
Yep.
And I do prefer Jason. I think he's a better person, better player.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, speaking about Jason,
too.
Jason, I saw him do an interview saying that he was nobody 2 years ago. I mean, he
was. Wow.
And
that's not entirely true. Okay.
Well, this is his words. He goes, I was pretty much a nobody.
I understand that, but you have to understand those pictures that you see of Jason Kelce after the Super Bowl win in the Mummers parade garb in Philadelphia turned him into a Philadelphia icon.
So he said, that's what he said. He said, then he goes, then what else he say? So it goes the Gumbers, and then the People's Magazine.
And my brother started to date Taylor Swift, and I'm famous.
Then Jason jumped in and goes, plus I was dating Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
So, but that guy
things really started to simmer and cook when the two of them started to do the podcast, which led to the Taylor Swift relationship. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm adding to this. I don't want to talk about this. All right.
I'm just saying, I knew about the podcast prior to this relationship.
Right,
I want to put that out there right now.
I'm giving your Jason.
Dude, it sucks so bad that his last game was that pile of garbage last night to go out like that. I
agree.
Philadelphia. I want every coach in Philadelphia fired because here's the deal, and we've talked about this, John. It's the first round of the playoffs. You're used to exiting in the first round of the playoffs. We're not. Okay. We're not used to exiting in the first round of the playoffs. In fact, the most consistent playoff team from the year 2000 to 2023 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. All right. I love to go on the Cowboys fan sites, okay, and put down on their fan sites that the Cowboys have only won 4 playoff games in the last 23 years, and then have them correct me and say it's only 2.
So the Dallas Cowboys and I are in an abusive relationship. It's like they kick me out of the house. They hate me. Then they call me, and then I come back. It's that kind of relationship. It sucks, but
here's the deal: we've talked about this all season long. Now, some of you, when it comes to look, hats off to the. I hate that I have to say it. Hats off to the Cowboys. You guys put together a pretty good season, a really, really good season.
I'm saving that clip.
All right. I'm just I hate the Cowboys to my core. Yeah. Everything in my body hates the Dallas Cowboys. All right. However, the beginning of the season, what was the talk? What was the talk around the league? After the general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles, Howie Roseman, had an incredible draft and then an incredible free agency period and put together this dream team on paper that was incredible. And then they went 10-1.
And they did good.
Okay? But all right. Now, you can argue there are some games in that 10-1 schedule that they probably shouldn't have won. Okay? But you chalk it up to, hey, good football teams find a way to win even when they're not playing so good, right? Mm-hmm. And then it comes down to week 12 in the NFL, and the shit hits the fan, and everything falls apart.
You guys are like Alaskan Airlines.
All right. It is the biggest collapse in sports history, this Philadelphia Eagles team. And everybody's like, what's up with Jalen Hurts? What's up with this team? A.J. Brown doesn't care, all this other stuff. Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. It has nothing to do with the players or the talent on the field. Philadelphia Eagles lost their offensive coordinator, their defensive coordinator last year. Frank Reich went off, right? Okay. You watched Jalen Hurts this year. Was he the rambling, scrambling Jalen Hurts that you remember from last year? No, he wasn't. He was the stand in the pocket, get hit, get sacked, throw an interception quarterback. And that's because of the play calling.
That's what happens, Randy.
And that's because of the offensive scheme. And that's because of the defense and offensive scheme and the offensive play calling, which was atrocious all season long. Okay? Then you go to the other side of the ball.
Hey.
Wait.
TJ.
What?
We're going on 2 hours here.
I get it. Let me finish. Let me just finish. Go to the other side of the ball. Best offensive line, best defensive line, bar none in the league. Everybody was saying it, and then all of a sudden we're getting sacks. We can't get a sack. We can't even rush the quarterback. And over the middle, the defense is like a pasta colander.
They were good until they played the 49ers.
Right? Okay? And that's the defensive coordinator. Yeah. And so then you look to the head coach and you go, he doesn't call the plays, right? Nick Sirianni doesn't call the plays.
Yeah.
So what does he do? So what happened? Because the Eagles went belly up the last 6 weeks of the season, is that the players' fault? No, it wasn't a pay problem. It was a coaching problem. It was a play calling problem. It had been there all season, and every coach in Philadelphia needs to go. I'm done.
Are you sure?
I'm done.
You don't want to talk about it anymore?
No, I don't.
I mean,
I want to give my opinion.
I would love to know your opinion, Randy. I had a music teacher in 7th grade. Right now, I'm just kidding.
We need a segment after the sports. It's called Randy's Opinions.
Right.
I haven't heard Taylor Swift in 10 minutes, so I tuned out.
All right. There we
go. Sorry.
That's Your Team Sucks, the Alpha Men on Sports on the Alpha Men podcast.
I just got that.
Hidden Hero tonight, we take you to Trumbull, Connecticut. Firefighter Sean Bogan. There you see him on the screen. He's a volunteer fireman. He's not a full-time fireman. He works for the city of Trumbull, Connecticut, and he was out keeping everybody safe, plowing the streets during a recent snowstorm. When he come up over the hill and spotted a house on fire, a garage with a truck out in front of it, completely on fire, acted quickly to ensure safety to the residents, and after alerting his base and calling 911, he pulled the truck into the front yard and laid on the air horn. It was the middle of the night. There were people in the house. They were all sleeping, but just sat there and laid on the air horn until people woke up and evacuated 4 adults and 3 dogs. And responding firefighters were able to get the blaze under control within an hour. He's now being hailed as a hero for helping to prevent a potentially tragic situation. And here he is to talk about it.
Drove up front of the house, hit the air horn a bunch while I called 911, talked to my office. Shortly after that, ran to the front door, started banging and make sure everybody got up, crested the little hill that was there, and off to the left, I just saw a garage with a truck on fire. Somebody sees this and go, oh, let me do something to help, not just drive by or ignore it. Drove up.
There you go.
That's pretty impressive.
Congratulations to firefighter Sean Bogan, city worker from Trumbull, Connecticut.
Hold on.
Our hidden hero.
I pushed the wrong. I should get Randy back in the picture for some reason, and I hit the wrong.
I was going to say, did y'all kick me out?
No.
Not
at all.
I forgot.
I lasted this long. I bring up Taylor Swift and I get kicked out of the podcast. I see how it is, guys.
No, I like. Honestly,
I see how it is.
I like having you around. It makes it more fun.
Sure.
That brings us to closing thoughts tonight. This story's a little bizarre. We're going to end with this one.
There you go.
We have just beamed out the first ever travel ad meant for aliens. And the suggestion is that they visit Lexington, Kentucky first. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm coming 40 million miles across the galaxy, 40 million light years, I ain't going to Lexington, Kentucky.
This makes my head hurt.
I ain't going to Kentucky.
I can't
period.
do it.
We have video.
No.
Go ahead, roll it.
We have video of this?
Yeah.
We do have video of this. Hold on.
This is the first time that we as a species have ever sent out a travel ad inviting aliens to come visit.
We're targeting the TRAPPIST-1 system because we might actually get an answer in somebody's lifetime if there's somebody there watching. But the reason scientists have been interested in it lately is because of the large number of planets that it has and what it's considered to be the habitable zone. So there could be life there. Why not send a signal and see if they answer?
Of all of the things that we've been beaming into space, why not a positive, friendly message? I think saying, hey, we're nice and friendly people, and we have horses and bourbon and dopamine, don't eat us.
We have this neat hub of creativity. It's just people who get to have the freedom to think a little bit differently. It does seem as if it's this place that is very welcoming.
Here's our chance to really demonstrate that we are a beautiful culture, a beautiful community, and that we want to share that with the galaxy, that we're the best place on earth.
That's weird.
I can't. I have so many comments about this. I just don't even want to.
What do you got to say? Go ahead. Just give me what's your first thought when you saw that.
I was gonna say so the comment that I see pop up, and I don't know if you want to put it up or not, but Haley says, "What's wrong with people? We have enough problems here." I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like we have enough going on here. Why is this even a thing?
I don't know if you guys saw the great documentary Independence Day, that Will Smith documentary about.
Yeah.
Documentary.
It doesn't end well. Why are you inviting them? But here's the deal: they had to get FAA approval. They sent via laser beam into wherever that egghead said they were sending it.
So probably hit some freaking.
They sent a coded bitmap image with pictures representing prime numbers and the 4 basic elements of life. They also included a rough image of a human and 2 images of horses, because Lexington is known for horses. All right. Lexington is actually the horse capital of the world. All right. And they also beamed the chemical formulas for the main molecules in bourbon. And at the bottom of the message, it says, "Visit Lexington, Kentucky. Start planning your vacation to the Bluegrass State." So here's the deal.
Why?
Here's the deal.
Well, hold on. I got a thing on my screen saying live broadcast ends in 4 seconds. I'm not sure why. What am I saying?
We're still here.
Weird. Okay.
Anyway.
I never seen that before.
There we go.
Here's the deal.
Come here.
Again, if I'm coming 40 light years across the galaxy, I'm going to Vegas. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to Vegas. I'm not going to Lexington, Kentucky. And, here's the deal. They say it's going to take a while for the message to be beamed 40 light years away. They won't get it until the year 2063. So.
Because we're still live. Okay. I don't have words.
You know what's going on here in reality? Someone from the Visit Lexington Travel Bureau said, "Hey, let's do this stupid thing. We'll get a lot of attention, and idiots like John, TJ, and Randy will talk about us."
That's true.
But to that point, somebody sat in a boardroom filled with 10 to 13 to 15 people and said, "Let's spend money on this."
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do this and, spend our money on this.
So you coming back next week, Randy?
I mean, that's an invite question.
Yes.
So is that an invite?
You're invited.
We want you.
I mean, I guess.
I think you bring.
I think I need to come back to see how my football picks turned out, because I won't give a crap or think about it again until next Tuesday night. So we'll see how that goes.
So
I want to hear about your 3rd grade teacher.
I don't know what football team they were into. So
yeah,
it was my 2nd grade teacher. That's what that sticks in my head.
That's true.
Kentucky does have a lot of whiskey, so they must be drunk to invite them. That's from Pete this evening.
But
Vermont could have done it, and it would have been cows. And Vermont would have done something like that if they thought of it.
It would have been taxes. Get real. If Vermont did it, it would have been taxes.
Your spokesman would be Bernie Sanders.
Taxes, COVID, and climate change. If Vermont
and Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
But no, it's been. I think having Randy on will be fun.
Well, listen. Thanks for joining us this week. Yeah. Part 2 of comedian Bob Marley next week. We hope you have a great week, and we will talk to you next time on the Alpha Men Podcast.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.